Beyond Meat is a dirty business, quite literally, and we'll get to that towards the end of this video. But it's also a failing business or falling business, depending upon your choice of adjectives. And its recent history has been marred with some real issues that have kind of changed this company's trajectory in an alarming way if you're one of its investors. So we're going to dive deeply into this one because it's just not getting the kind of attention that it deserves. I think more people should know about what's happening with Beyond Meat. Here we go. So let's talk through the recent history at Beyond Meat. As a product, Beyond Meat's offerings had a widespread early adoption in the marketplace, and as a plant-based meat replacement, it was readily consumed by many, many people. You had Subway, Carl's Jr., Starbucks, Panda Express, and even McDonald's all collecting customers' money with a selection of offerings from burgers to sausages. In kind, Beyond's IPO, their initial public offering, in 2019 was a skyrocketing investment, incredibly valuable to those that jumped in right at the beginning. It was supposed to be the new beginning for meat replacement products. Well, it and one other meat replacement product, and well, they're both kind of having their doldrums right now. A recent pilot food offering at McDonald's, specifically with its McPlant burger, well, in the United States, have been discontinued with no intentions of resuming them at a future date. I would imagine internationally, a lot of these things will start to disappear as well. And I would imagine even over at Panda Express, they're probably looking at things with a little bit of alarm. But let's rewind back. Since the beginning of what could kindly be described as a fad, these meat-based products, the decline in the consumption of these fake meats has been sliding to its inevitable end. Well, which is, with nobody buying or eating them. And unfortunately, Beyond Meat has been caught up in that decline. I don't know about unfortunately, but I thought it would be nice there. Of course, even worse news, if you're one of these meat replacement companies, is that in July, a Deloitte survey came out describing that fewer people actually believe that fake meat products are healthier. In fact, a lot of people are concerned with the amount of processing that goes into their food, and for good reason. Believe me, we're going to get to that in a minute. Things across the board have kind of tailed off for this entire industry, but specifically with Beyond Meat, their trading volumes have declined for nearly 2 years. The interest is, more than a little fallen off. And it gets even worse when you look at their Q3 earnings report, which came into, the public eye in November 9th, and the stock did zero, nothing. There was little to no response. And when you have no response, when you have a quarterly report, that's really bad news indeed. The overall stock value of this company over the last year, I think, has fallen about 80%. And even with that collapse, the company is still actually overvalued at $12 and change a share. Profitability has been laughable. The EPS actually in this most recent quarter was a negative $4.03. It's not good for earnings per share. And all of the analysis from anybody that, is out there in the industry is saying there's a more dour future ahead for this company specifically, and probably industry in general. Things are going to get even worse. At least if you're still watching this story, you're going to find out why. See, there was a recent whistleblowing and investigative series of reports and reporting that came out from even the esteemed Bloomberg. And in fact, the Daily Mail picked this up and ran with it themselves. And again, they cite the Bloomberg tweets that talk about these things with some very, well, illuminating pictures to accompany them. But I'm going to read this headline from the Daily Mail specifically. It says, Beyond Meat's plant may be riddled with deadly bacteria. Listeria and mold were found at least 11 times in its Pennsylvania facility last year, internal documents reveal. That's a little concerning, I would say. The bullet points actually underneath the headline are equally disturbing in my opinion. Well, let's take a look at those. It says, Bloomberg reports Beyond Meat's Pennsylvania facility has been riddled with mold and listeria due to food safety issues. Second bullet point being, listeria was detected in the plant during the second half of last year and the first half of 2022. Now, we need to get further context because bullet points are great, but within the framework of the story, they kind of fit together a little differently sometimes. So we'll dive into at least the beginning of this article. Beyond Meat's Pennsylvania processing plant could be riddled with bacteria. Leaked documents claim listeria and mold have been found in the facility 11 times in less than a year. A Beyond Meat spokesperson told the DailyMail.com that the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture conducted inspections in the plant in March of 2022 and September of 2022. Now, I will say this to add further context, that September inspection was limited. It was in quotes in the story, so I'm going to throw it out there right now. And based on those inspections, they found, and this is in quotes as well, again, this is the way to skip around with language, no instances of non-conformance with regulations. That's what the inspections found. Now, the leak documents, however, claim that there was an unsafe use of equipment, and you can probably see that in some of the photos that you're looking at right now. You can see mold on the walls and ingredients, and non-food items had contaminated the meat substitute product. That doesn't sound good. And these would include metal, wood, string, and plastic. Again, the pictures that you're looking at, well, they replace tens of thousands of words, in my opinion, and they also give me the creeps, like I'm like, ew, right now. Obviously, the cleanliness here is visually disturbing. And listeria being mentioned is, well, more than a little alarming. Of course, visible mold does not inspire confidence in a product quality or maybe even of its health, nor will it inspire probably anyone's appetite. Again, I don't think this story is getting enough attention, and I would be paying very close attention in the future to not just Beyond Meat, but most of these other heavily processed products, especially when you learn how they go about making it have the appearance of being juicy with heme. I'm going to say this, I would never, ever consume any of these products personally. I don't like processed foods as a rule. And I certainly wouldn't go after something that is a attempted replication of actual meat. There are a lot of very healthy vegetarian options out there. Believe me, I've had Boca and Morningstar burgers that were fully plant-based, somewhat processed, but very delicious in my opinion. Some people can't tolerate them gastronomically, but I'm fortunate and I'm able to enjoy them if I have to, right? If I'm hanging out with some of my friends who happen to be vegetarian, vegan, right? I don't believe any of these fake meat products are actually, among those healthy options that I just mentioned. I think the more you process something, the less healthy it becomes and the more opportunity there is for contamination. But hey, what do you think? Do you think that people should be highly skeptical of these fake meat products? Again, look into how they make them juicy with the heme. Are you concerned with foods coming out of a processing plant that looks like, well, the pictures you've just seen here that I've shown during the course of the video? And I actually have a question. Have you eaten these fake meat products yourself. I wonder whatever it is, Wonder Meat and Beyond Meat and all this other stuff. Have you ever tried those? And what did you think of them? I'm kind of curious. I don't know a lot of people that eat this stuff with any form of regularity now. And again, I do believe it was a fad, but I am curious. So use the comment section down below and let me know what you think and what your answers might be to those questions. Yeah. I'm curious. Do you want these kinds of stories in the future? They're inside culture and pop culture, but they're not the norm entertainment stuff that I do here. So I don't know. Maybe this isn't something that I should lean into, but I do like to cover actual news from time to time, especially when it's something this concerning. And with that, I'm going to tell you, support other independent creators out there, because you're going to get these kinds of stories from time to time that maybe you didn't give a second glance or even know existed. And I think that's beneficial. I think that by supporting independent creators, by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, turning on notifications, and commenting, I think I already said that, but that changes the things. That changes the way the algorithm works. It brings the stories back up to the top, to the recommended tab on all these video platforms that are algorithmically driven. So that engagement, that's very important. And believe me, I thank you for that. And I know every other creator that you value appreciates that as well. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene, especially if you're working with one of these fake meat products or at one of their facilities. And until next time, bye. Crazy story. And don't forget to check out my Rumble at rumble.com/CultureCasino.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.